Hey everybody, it's David Plouffe, the campaign manager for Obama for America. We accomplished something extraordinary together in this campaign. We saw that come to fruition when Barack Obama was elected the 44th President of the United States of America. And it was such a special moment, and I hope you took time to appreciate your role in it, because really it was the first time in American political history that a victory was won at the grassroots level like that. And people like you deciding they wanted change, and rather than just wanting it, they worked for it and demanded it. It was so exciting not just to win an election, but the way we did it, which was all of us banding together the way politics ought to be, and being involved in our country and our democracy. You heard from the President in a video recently announcing the formation of Organizing for America, which is how we're going to continue the grassroots movement that you built moving forward here. Not to win an election, but to talk about and work on the pressing issues facing the country: energy, the economy, healthcare. And it's going to be an exciting thing to see moving forward, to connect Americans to the debate here in Washington. And I think that that's not only good for our democracy and our country, but will also help President Obama succeed in bringing about the change that we all fought for in the campaign. I'm really excited to announce today that Mitch Stewart, who some of you may already know, you'll get to know a lot more about Mitch and from Mitch, is going to be managing Organizing for America. He's going to be our executive director. Mitch is someone who was our caucus director in Iowa, which obviously is one of the prime reasons that Barack Obama is our president today. Mitch also ran Virginia for us in the general election, a state very few people gave us any chance of winning. But through Mitch's leadership, working with all of you in Virginia and the surrounding states, we won a convincing victory in Virginia. And not only is Mitch a talented strategist and operative, he's someone who in his gut believes in grassroots politics, believes in people making a difference out there. And he's someone that the President has selected to manage this organization going forward, because he's going to be your partner and he's going to listen to you. So I'm very proud to introduce to you Mitch Stewart, who's going to be the executive director of your organization.
Thanks, David. And this is a real honor for me to take on this new role. We are committed to building on what we did over the past 2 years and working with our grassroots leaders so that we can assist President Obama on the legislative issues so critical to our country, whether it be the economy, healthcare, or energy. In order for us to get Organizing for America off on the right foot, we spent the past 2 months listening to you. Over 500,000 of you filled out detailed online surveys expressing your views and ideas of where this movement should go. Thousands more of you hosted house parties within your communities, talking to your friends and neighbors about what the next steps are. Two things became abundantly clear. The first is that you wanted this movement to continue, and the second is that you wanted to actively support President Obama's agenda. In order for us to accomplish both of those goals, we are, as an organization, going to continue the tactics that proved successful in the primary and in the general election, which is having friends talk to friends and neighbors talk to neighbors about issues they care about. In the weeks and months coming, we will have a lot of exciting updates and information for you, but the most important thing is to know is that we will keep you involved every step of the way.
In President Obama's historic speech on November 4th in Grant Park in Chicago, he said that this victory was not the change we seek, it was just the opportunity to fight for that change. And that's really where we find ourselves today. He, from the moment he announced for president, believed that change was not only going to come from Washington if it was to be successful, it had to come from America. And Organizing for America is really going to be an opportunity for millions of Americans around the country. Those of you that helped us in the campaign, and we also want those that didn't help us in the campaign, who might not even voted for Barack, who believe that he might have the right ideas on energy or healthcare or the economy, to pitch in and have conversations in their own communities and help build support for the change we need to lift this country up. I'd like to also, I know we've asked a lot of you since the election, a lot of it financially, and I've personally asked for a lot of that, and I know that everyone is struggling out there financially. It's a lot to ask after what you did in the campaign. But just know that things like the transition and the inaugural, if you are changing the way business is done in Washington and not letting big corporations write million-dollar checks to fund these things, the only option left is to ask people to. And so just know we had to have a good transition, not just to help President Obama, but the country's in such dire straits. It had to go well. And you should feel really terrific about the role you played in that. The inaugural, the same thing. It was funded by people like you. and obviously we saw what a terrific weekend it was. So it was a lot to ask. But it was very, very important, and just know how much we appreciate it. Moving forward, we may still have to ask you financially to help fund this movement, but we're going to be talking to you a lot more about issues, making sure you're connected to what President Obama is doing in Washington, asking you to play a part in your community. And we want to hear from you. This has obviously never been undertaken before, and so it's going to be a little trial and error. And and Mitch is someone who believes so strongly in feedback. And so this really is a two-way street. We want to hear from you, and you'll be hearing from us. And together, hopefully, we can build a movement here that continues what we built on the campaign, but has a much different purpose, which is not to win an election, but to change this country. And so, again, I want to thank you for all you did for us, and I know we'll be fighting side by side in the months to come.
We have a lot planned in the weeks and months ahead, and as you all know, our country faces some severe struggles right now, and we're going to need you every step of the way for us to push this agenda forward. Thank you for your time, and hope you'll join us from the very start.